Hey y'all, it's Taylor from tattooedteacherplans. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Today's an exciting day because I'm going to set up my new memory planner, and I'm just going to go ahead and say right now that the EC controversy is not going to be in this video. I will leave a link down to my personal statement that I wrote about everything and where I'm going from here, but long story short, I'm not promoting right now. This is a break, not a breakup, hopefully, and I am just going to leave it there. So if you want to read my thoughts, I will definitely leave that at the top of the description for you, and I'm open to respectful discussions. You can DM me over on Instagram if you'd like. All right, so today we're going to get this thing set up. Now, I'm not starting it until July, but I wanted to be ready. And I thought that today would be a good day to do that because I know a lot of people are starting new planners in July. So I have a bunch of questions from you guys. I asked on Instagram, what do you want to know? What should I answer during this video? Because it is going to be a lot of just like adapting the planner and just setting it up in the background. So I thought it would be good to answer some questions. And I get questions all the time about my style of memory planning, and I thought it would be good to answer them. I also have a blog post on that, which I will get updated, and I will put that in the description as well. The biggest question I get is about pictures, and we will go over that. I promise you. I get asked the picture question literally every single day. So if I've ever replied to you in a snarky manner, it's because I probably already answered it that day or that week, because it comes up all the time, you guys, all the time. So we're going to go all over that. So first thing is I'm just going to go over what I'm going to be using today. So I've got my planner here. This is a 18-month planner, which I will be trimming down a little bit. And then I have a monthly sticker book for my monthly spreads because I use those for daily gratitude. So we're going to be setting up that first one so it's ready for July. I've got some washi for that spread. And then I've got my little scissors, and I won't be using this, but this is what I use to attach pictures when I am building a spread. And then of course I have my Pentel Energel in 0.7. This is my current favorite pen right now. It writes so nicely. All right, so first thing is I'm going to clear this off, and we're just going to work on kind of cleaning up the planner and getting that ready. Now, my style is not the only style. I want to make that very clear. There are 100 different ways that you can do this. I'm only going to speak on my style. So if you've seen any of my memory plan with me videos, you know what my style looks like and how I do it. So I'm just going to focus on that. I don't back plan, I memory keep. So that's what this planner is for me. It is a kind of mini scrapbook, I like to say. All right, so let's get into this. I'm going to do these questions in no particular order. I did not put them in like a specific order. So we're just going to start at the top. So how do you choose which memories to put in the planner? Okay, so I usually choose like things I want to remember for sure, and then things that are like motivation or inspiration to me, which may be a meme, it may be a quote, anything that is inspiration to me and I want to remember, I will include. The next question, do you keep memories you don't want to share somewhere else? Yes, I do. I do. Oh, I am going to use this because I'm going to, oh no, I'm not going to do that. Okay. Since we're here, let me talk about this page real quick. Someone asked me this question, actually. It's all coming together here. Do you keep memories you don't want to share somewhere else? Yes. So on these pages and this notes page, well, there's not one there, but this notes page here before the month starts is where I keep my private journaling. So if there's something private that I want to journal about, that I want to keep in this book, because it's kind of like where I keep all of my memory keeping, then I will use these pages and I just won't share them. So I've definitely been doing that a lot this month, and it looks really cool, but also it's just very, it's very good to have these pages for my own personal space. I also use foldover boxes, So I will use the sticker paper boxes and fold them over, put a full box on top of it, and then write underneath. And that way I can have that kind of private space that I want. And usually I will share those things later if it's appropriate. And sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'll just keep it to myself. So it just kind of depends. I will do a photo tutorial on my iPad in just a little bit. So that's coming up. I hate to do this, but oh no, I do need this. I don't know why I did that. I keep the folder in the back for like keeping graduation programs and things like that. Let me see if I have, I'll have to get some tape and stuff to fix that in a little bit. I can't believe I did that. All right. How long do I wait to build a spread? It's usually either at the end of the week, so like the next week, or it is a week after that. So I usually do like 2 in one weekend or day. So just anytime after the month, but not too long, because then I'll forget. Even though I make notes, I'll definitely forget. Okay. What goes in your main planner versus the memory planner? So what goes in here is what happened, like the specific things that happened that I want to remember. What goes in my everyday planner is like the day-to-day stuff, like checklists and cleaning and errands and things like that. The memory planner is more for things that I actually want to make note of. So it's different in that way. How do you do, or do you do it daily or after the week is over? I do it after the week is over, all in one go. And it takes me about anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. It's usually around 45 minutes to actually film it. And then of course I'll like speed it up and all that stuff. I'm taking these pages out, by the way, to give me some more room on the coil. Okay, what's next? Do you use a special printer? I do not. And another question was, have you thought about buying a special printer? Like a little one. I have thought about it. I've actually like priced them and researched the best ones, all that stuff. But I don't know if that's right for me just yet. First of all, they're pretty expensive and the photo paper is expensive. So upkeep, I don't know what the cost would be. I guess I need to do the math on that. Also, I really like the quality of my printed photos from Walgreens. It's just really good quality. It's a little bit probably thicker, and I have to use my adhesive to put them in, but it's just really good. Like, they're totally clear. They're not discolored, which I've heard is kind of an issue with some of the little printers. So I'm not going to say never, but for now, no, I'm not going to do that. Where do you get your pictures? I get them from like my own life, like me taking the pictures, and then I do screenshots of things that are inspirational that I want to include in my spreads. So then I can make a collage of pics, which I'll show you in a little bit. Where do you, oh, is it always the same sizing of pictures? Yes, I always do a square, and it's like 1.3 squared. So I do a collage and then I cut them down. I like the square shape. That's just a personal preference. You can do the collage in whatever way you want, and you can print them in 4x6 if you want. But I like the squares. I just think they're cute. And they don't take up as much room. What camera do you use to take pictures and video? I use my phone. I have an iPhone 11 Plus, and I changed the settings, and it's just as good, if not better, than a lot of cameras. And you never have to change the battery. Battery life is amazing. It's just easy. So that's what I've always done. And you just have to get the settings right and position it right and all that stuff. I also use an external microphone, but yeah, I use my phone. So what makes your memory planner different from other planners? So this is a very visual representation of like my memory keeping. And there's a lot of journaling too. It's kind of a combo of kind of scrapbooking plus journaling, which I really like. I like the combo. And it's small. It's not as big as a 12 by 12 page scrapbook, you know? They're so big. I can't do that. Can't drag that out. All the supplies. There's less supplies here. It's faster. Do you have a lot of overlap between planners? I do have some overlap, but not as much as you would think. Like if I put relax on Saturday night in my planner, well, I don't know what that will be, but afterwards I'll know like what movie I watched or whatever, you know? So it just kind of depends. So I put things in my memory planner of like the actual activities, the specific things, or things that I didn't even plan for that happened. Like I didn't put my birthday surprise party in my planner because I didn't know what was happening, but I put it in my memory planner. So, you know, this planner is kind of special in that way because it has like the actual, you know, the big highlights or not highlights, just depending on what the spread comes out to look like. How do you document or note what will go into it? Okay, so my pre-planning system for this planner. Okay, so I have some dailies here, and I am working on getting a different system. I just haven't decided what it is. I've got a couple of things coming, but I use this to pre-plan up here, and then I'll make notes down here of things I'm going to include in my memory planner, or feelings, or anything that I want to include there. So I have, you know, I've got this little dated planner to have notes of what I want to include. And it's not like anything big. It's just like a very, very quick, like this, very, very quick notes, you know? Okay. So that's my pre-planning system. And it's worked so far, but like I said, I have something coming that I want to try. So we'll see how it works out. And horizontal user, they wanted to know thoughts on how to kind of translate what I do into that. I'm not really sure because I'm not a horizontal user, but I do think that the horizontal has an advantage because you have lines in most of them, and you have the ability to journal a little bit more. I think it would be easier to journal across than in a column. I mean, it works for me, it's fine, but you would have more space across to write. So there is that advantage. And I think you still have room, especially if you use like smaller pictures like I do, of including pictures and things like that. Might look actually really cool. I'd be interested to see that. Okay, what do you do when you don't have much to put in? This is definitely an issue some weeks. You just never know like what's going to happen or what is going to be included until you actually get there and you make the notes for it. So I don't know, you guys. It's like it's hard to make it's not making something up, but I think if you focus on the journaling aspect that week, sometimes my spreads are very picture heavy and sometimes they're very journal heavy, or it's a mix. It just depends on the week. If I'm in my feelings, then it's going to be a picture or a journaling week. If I did a bunch of stuff and I took pictures, then it'll be a picture heavy week. Like when I went to New York last year, it was like all pictures and then like little labels, you know, in there. So it just kind of depends on the week and what it's going to be. But I think even if you have like a mundane week, you probably have something to journal about. Something in your life or something important that's happening in the world, something that you have an opinion on. I think that's an opportunity to bring in that journaling. I'm not a huge journaling person. I only do it when I feel like I need to get my feelings out. So, but I do see the benefits of it. I think it's good. It can be cathartic. Come on. Okay. So, that's very messy. It's a lot. Okay. So, that was the first page of questions. That was nice. Okay. So next up in the actual planner is we're going to get to, so I took out some things, as you saw. I could probably take this out too, but I like that. I think that's pretty. So let's go to the first month. Now, the way that I do my monthly spreads is I do each box for some daily gratitude. Now, I will say, do I sit down and do daily gratitude every single day? No, but about every 2 to 3 days, I do. So I'll show you real quick. One. So here's February right there. Here's March. That one's really cute. So what I like to do is put in some washi and some stickers and then leave this for kind of some more journaling. And I just like it to look cute. And ooh, that one's fun. I just like to have this. It's really, really nice to look back on because you can kind of see trends and like things that were happening. And it was just like, this was, you know, peak quarantine, and I have trash TV next to a reorganized kitchen and seeing my friends. So this is just really fun, and I like this aspect of how I do my memory planning. I will do a flip through, by the way, once I actually finish the planner. I've got 2 more weeks in that one, and then I'll do a flip through. Okay, so for this, what I've done in the past, and I'm going to continue doing, is the washi and the monthly sticker book situation. So we're going to go to July. So here's what we're working with sticker wise, and it has some foil on it too. I want to bring in some silver foil though too. All right. And there's like pretty much no rhyme or reason to this. I just kind of spread everything out and hope for the best. So that's what we're going to do. And I'll answer some more questions as we go. So how do you store your planners? I show this in my my office tour. So I will link that below if you would like to go check that out. And it's on a shelf. I mean, it's just like stacked on a shelf. That's it. Which is, I think it looks cute to me. So I like it. How much does it cost to maintain both a memory planner and everyday planner? Okay, I'll be honest with you guys. It changes all the time. Depends on if there's a sale and I find some kits. I tend to use kits in this planner that are maybe cheaper, or like I bought too much and there's like overlap or whatever. Just depends on lots of things. But I do love this planner and being able to use whatever I have. So I guess this is just a rough estimate, but probably about $200 a month on kits for both. Now, you're going to probably be like floored by that, but here's the thing. I supplement my income for planning with YouTube. So that is not a regular budget, okay? So don't feel like that is quote unquote normal, because it's probably not. It's just what I am able to do most months. My YouTube income goes up and down too, so it's not really reliable. So I do budget for planner stuff, but my YouTube income supplements it as well, if that makes sense. So it's definitely become more elaborate as the years have gone on. So, you know, you get sucked into different things and, you know, it happens. It just happens over time. I'm just going to put this right here. All right. Do you ever want to combine your everyday planner and memory planner? Now, I've seen people do this and it looks really cute, but I just have this thing. Okay, so when I memory plan, that's my decompress time. Someone asked me one time, what do you do when you're actually memory planning? Do you like watch a TV show? You listen to music, podcasts, whatever? No, I sit in silence because it's like my time to reflect and to put my thoughts together and all of that. Like it's quiet and it's really nice. It's like 45 minutes for me to just like be with my thoughts. That is huge. I might have to put this over here. We'll do that. Okay. So yeah, I don't see myself combining anytime soon, but as with everything with planning, never say never. Maybe there will come a time where I don't have the time to do that. I am a single person with no children, so I have that kind of time right now. But if I don't, you know, if something happens and it changes, then maybe I would. I just don't know. I do think it's cool though. I like when people put in pictures in their spreads and stuff. Okay, what do you not include in your memory spreads? Okay, so there are things that are just like kind of off limits. So anything that is private information, I do not include. And that is like a very broad kind of thing. But if I feel like it's not shareable, then I don't share it. So it just depends on the information. Also, if that private information affects other people, then I will not include it. So, you know, that happens often where I will just not include something, or I'll put it in one of the little flip up boxes, or I will put it in, you know, like journaling section over here. I'll write about it over there. Okay. So, but that's not my thing to share, whatever it is. And I won't unless I have either I ask for permission, because I do share things on the internet, or I'll put it somewhere else. And sometimes it's just things that don't need to be shared at that time. Like it's just not appropriate and it's not mine to share at that moment. So I will just, you know, shelve it, put it in a little flip up thing, and then I can share it later. But it's not my place to share information about other people if they don't want it to be shared. But my family's pretty cool about everything, and I like to ask before I post anything if there's any question about it. So I'm just putting things randomly, and then we're going to put the numbers on it too. I also have some numbers that we're going to look through in a minute. I forgot to pull those out, but we'll do that in a little bit. Okay. What else? How's it different from regular planning? So in my memory planner, I include the highlights of things. I've kind of already gone over this. I include the pictures and I include journaling. So it is, you know, it's not really planning. I get criticism sometimes of like, this is not planning. Well, no, it's not, but it's fun and it's in a planner. So I call it memory planning. So it just, I don't know. I try to explain that to people, but sometimes they don't understand it. I also had a question about, do you document everything or just the significant things? And that kind of depends on the week. If there are significant things that I want to include, then I will. And I usually do. If there are significant things that I don't want to share, then I'll put those on a different page. Or if there's anything that like I want to journal about, I'll do that. It just kind of depends on the week. It's all about like what happened and how I want to remember that week. Also, how do you make it non-repetitive? So I'm assuming like between the planners, I think maybe they were asking. That's where kind of it comes in, like documenting things that actually happened, not what you planned to happen. So to me, there is the overlap, but not like an insane amount of overlap. You'd be surprised how much overlap there is not, I think. Okay. how do you budget? I kind of already went over that a little bit, but I do set aside, I have a fund every month for my planning. Then I supplement with my YouTube money. So every month is different though. It's never the same amount. So I kind of have to plan accordingly. And I know what I'm going to make from YouTube at the end of the month, but they don't pay out till the next. So I kind of have a little bit of time to plan for that when I am working on my budget. And I get paid on the 15th of every month. So I have, you know, half a month to figure out what I'm going to, like, shuffling things and figuring out what is the amount that I can spend. Do I go over it sometimes? Yeah, I do. But not all the time. All right. And I also have these little strips here that I think are kind of cute. I'm going to include some of these. Oop. Just ripped that. Let's try this one first. Okay. So with these little strips like this, I like to put them on the bottom of the boxes. Like this, just as kind of like a little frame. I think it looks cute. And then I forgot to say this, but I get rid of all the holidays because this is kind of a memory spread, like a gratitude spread. So I don't need those holidays in there, if that makes sense. Let's just put one over here. Do you ever feel overwhelmed by 2 planners? Yeah, I actually have like 4/5 planners. So yes, I do get overwhelmed. And there are weeks when I don't want to do it. When I don't want to sit down and do it. Especially if I wait too long and it's been like 2 weeks. Oh man, it's hard. But then I think, like, do I want to have this spread filled out? Or do I want to be a whiny baby and not want to do it? So I always want my planner to be filled out and I want to complete the planner. I'm one of those people. I do not planner hop. I complete my planners from start to finish, no matter what. Even when I broke my wrist last year, I still caught up on my spreads. I think I missed one memory spread, and that's because literally nothing happened that week. I was like packing for my trip, and that's it. And that's what I put in on the post-it on the page. Every other spread is done. And I usually film all my spreads. Sometimes if the week is especially hard and something like bad happened or scary happened or whatever, I won't film it because I'll be like emotional about it or whatever. But for the most part, I do film every spread because I like to watch them back too. I think it's kind of fun. Like I watched my 2 New York weeks a couple of weeks ago just to kind of remember what happened, and it was just kind of fun. So I'm going to go through these numbers. These are all from Nicole Hutch Designs, and we'll see if there's any that will work. Do you keep both planners every year? Yes, I do. I keep all of my planners no matter what, and for the past 3 years I've done both planners, so yes, I have kept all of them. Again, I love to look back on this. I said this before, but if like my house was burning down, these would be the planners that I keep and like grab, because these are where like all of the magic is, you know, all of the memories. Okay, I need to pick a color. That blue works. That red is not great. It's okay, but we'll go with blue. When else am I going to use this blue anyway? So I think putting down the numbers really like makes the spread come together. I think it looks finished almost. Okay, so how do you know what to put where, like in the columns? So that is something that I figured out over time. When I started doing this years ago, it was just a process to figure all of that out. You kind of have to figure out your own style too. Like, don't try to copy everything that I do. Like, do what you think looks best and what works with your style and your eye, because you may do something differently that you like better. But yeah, that was definitely something I had to learn over time, like how much space to put for a picture and like tilting the pictures versus putting them in straight up and down. You just have to find your style, which I do think I have found my style at this point, and it works for me and it goes pretty fast. Like I said, I can get these done in like 45 minutes or less. What inspired you to memory plan? I like that question. So first I saw someone, okay, very first person I saw do it was Jacinia, and I don't think she makes planner videos anymore, but she has like a printable shop now. But she used to make the most beautiful plan with me's, and I was just like obsessed with them. It's totally not my style, but I don't watch planners really that have my style. I watch people that do something else, and I loved her style of memory. She started memory planning, which to her was back planning, but she included a couple pictures one time, and I was like, that gives me an idea. I miss scrapbooking, and why can I not do this like scrapbooking on a smaller scale? Plus it would be cheaper than scrapbooking and less time consuming. So I just started to experiment with different ways of doing a spread. I literally just started with a planner and pictures and figured it out, and it just kind of evolved. So I really loved scrapbooking back in the day, but it's just too much stuff and it's too much time and money, and just found myself not wanting to do that. So this kind of brought that back a little bit. And then my last question is, have you thought of getting a photo printer? And I kind of went over that already. If you have one that you absolutely love that prints really good quality photos, definitely leave that down in the comments, because like I said, I'm not going to say never, but it's got to be like affordable and have good quality prints. I would love not to have to drop into Walgreens, although it literally only takes me like 3 minutes to go get my pictures. But it would be nice not to have to go and do that errand every week or every other week. Usually I'll save up 2 weeks and then print all the pics and then put my spread together. And the worst thing is when you forget one of the pictures that you want to include, and then you have to wait. So yeah, that would be nice to not have to deal with that, but I gotta have what I want to switch over. It's really like the photo paper too that adds up, I think. All right, we're almost done with this, and then we can move on to the photo tutorial. So before we get into that, y'all know I like square prints. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do. But the app that I use, you can totally print 4x6s. But I always print 4x4 with 9 pictures. So I have 9 squares. All right, so let me get this out of the way. All right, so this spread is finished. It looks so cute. I love it. All right, so we've got our numbers. We've got little spaces just to make it look kind of cute. And, you know, kind of mixed up. I like that look. And then we've got my little journaling section over here. And I still like to leave a little space, even when I put like stuff here, a little space for me to write my gratitude for that day. But I love how this turned out. It's so adorable. It'll look really cute all finished up. So this page is for journaling. And then you'll notice I have a colorful. This is going to be an experiment, you guys. It is much lighter than it's been in the past. I'm still like kind of apprehensive, but it's so light, and I really wanted the monthly spread. I just think that's so beautiful, and I like how that looks as well. So I don't know. I'm a little bit scared, but I think it's going to be okay. I saw, who was it? Rochelle from Planned Princess. She bought like some sticker paper and used that to cover up any of the ones that were hard to cover. I guess the current planner, like the 2020 planner, was like really dark. So I need to, I guess I can do that, but I don't think I will. I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be an experiment. Okay, so what you want to do if you're going to do this style, I brought out my iPad so you can see it nice and big. Okay, so there's an app called Picframe, and it just makes collages. It's very, very simple, and I've been using it for literally years, and it works great. So first thing you want to do is pick your sizing. So I always go 1:1 because I want that square. If you want the 4:6, then you probably want the 2:3. So it just depends on the size of photo that you want and like the style of your photo. If you want rectangles, you're going to have to go to 2:3. Okay, so first that, and then you go all the way over to this one, which has your 9 squares. And then you just go here and you pick a picture, and it puts the pictures in each of the squares. Now, the next thing you have to do is go to Style, and you're going to change the width of the border between them to 0. And then you don't have any spaces between the pictures, so it's like very seamless. And your pictures are just a teensy bit bigger than they would have been. So you can see this is a square right here. These are all squares. Okay. Now, once you finish and you get all of your squares done, you're going to go to Share and Save. And then you'll have your print. So once you have your print, then you can upload them to whatever pharmacy you want to print them to. I choose Walgreens because it's super easy to upload, and they always have a coupon code that you at the top that you can always use. So what you get is a bunch of square prints. So they'll be in like 3 rows of 3, and then I use my paper trimmer, or you can use scissors to cut them into your little squares. And I just like the look of the squares. I think it's really cute. Someone asked if they're always squares, and yes, almost always. I thought I had one here that I could show you. Where's it at? Sometimes if an image that I screenshotted is, if it's a rectangle, then I'll just like screenshot it, and then I'll just trim off the black bars on the sides, which works as well. So I think that's everything for this video. If you guys have any more questions, definitely leave those down in the comment section below, because I would be happy to answer that for you. I haven't even written my name in this yet, so let's do that last. But yeah, if you have any comments, definitely leave those down there. I'm sure there is something that I have left out. Okay, so we are ready to go. We've got our coil all cleaned up. We've got our first monthly spread done. By the way, sometimes I just get bored and I'm just like watching TV or whatever, and I'll go ahead and set up like 2 or 3 of these spreads at once so that they're ready, and it's just kind of something to do with my hands while I'm watching a show instead of just watching it, which is kind of fun. But I'm really excited about this new planner. The new style too, I think, is really nice, and it looks great. And I always want to jump into a new planner, always, but this one is going to be definitely one of my favorites. My memory planners are always my favorites. So here is my current one. It's really fat. I have the cover on it in kind of an awkward spot so that it lays flat like this. When I open it up, I like to have, I don't like this side to be shorter than this one. So that's what I'm doing right now. I've got some stuff in my pocket here. Just things I want to keep. Got them on both sides, little birthday cards, things like that. So like I said, I will do a flip through of this planner when I finish those last 2 spreads. But now we're done, and we've got my name in it. We're ready to go. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already subscribed to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye!